Hello and welcome to the channel. I'm your host D-Day, bringing you our first episode of Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol issue number 1. So I went ahead and I got the Combat Patrol magazine subscription. This guy has a couple of magazines being sent per month that have little divider holes in it, which is really cool. As far as I understand, we have issue 1 and 2 out now. And what I think is really exciting about this Combat Patrol magazine subscription for Warhammer 40,000 is that each edition comes with a little bit of rules, so you learn it piece by piece, as well as miniatures that you can put together. The beginning ones from the first issues are going to be Space Marines and Tyranids. As you know, I'm a Tyranid guy. So let's crack open this Combat Patrol issue 1 for Warhammer 40,000. The first thing that I see is it does come with a winged Tyranid Prime, as well as a Terminator Captain. Or if you want to be technical about it, it's a Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor. And what's really cool is it also comes with 6 dice at the very bottom, just regular white dice. So before I rip this one open, be sure to hit the like button if you want to see more of these coming. There's a lot of these issues coming out in the future. And as long as you guys keep hitting like, I'll keep doing the reviews per issue. Also, be sure to subscribe so you can find your way back, because this playlist is going to be very long. I'm going to do one of these episodes for every single issue that's delivered. Alright, so let's open this bad boy and we can flip through the pages together. Alright guys, I am so excited. I went ahead and I put down some of our Termagants, and the 2 models that came with this Combat Patrol, which is the Winged Tyranid Prime and the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor. These first 2 pages look like just the introduction, all of the stuff. Build, read, collect, play, and how to build the basics. So it looks like they're going over how to use the clippers the right way so that you don't leave chunks of plastic, and it leaves it so that we don't have that much cleanup after removing them from the sprues. Alright, this Tyranid at the bottom looks pretty crazy. I don't know what model that is. And it looks like they're showing us a mold line remover. I don't think I have one of those. It didn't come with this issue. But here we go, color coding. It shows us, cool, step 1, A, B, and C for putting together the Space Marine in Terminator armor, the Captain. Here we go, we have more of the instructions on how to put together the Winged Tyranid Prime. All of these guys, they look really easy. They're snap to connect, all pegs and holes. From what I understand, no glue is required. And a little bit of story. Welcome to the 41st millennium. I won't read it all, but you guys can pause if you guys want to read that. Very cool. We have an ad for the Imperium. So that is all of the humanoid forces that I can think of. We got Chaos, which is all of the bad guys from the Warp. And Xenos, which is everything that isn't humans, from what I understand. So orcs and Tyranids and stuff. And then, of course, we got a little bit of extra info on Space Marines, the Angels of Death. Again, to keep this video short, I won't read all of this, but feel free to hit spacebar to pause if you guys really want to read what it says right here. Alright, flipping the page, look at that. Tyranids, I love it. We got combat squads. We got the Angels Descend. And of course, I don't know, are Ultramarines still considered angels? Or is that only Blood Angels? That I don't know. Because whenever I hear the Angels, I think of Blood Angels. I'm looking at the Ultramarines down there against the Tyranids. 2 Land Raiders. I mean, if we as the Tyranids don't have a whole bunch of Tyran effects, this match is already lost. I've seen too many matches with Land Raiders go sour for the Tyranids. But really cool, we got a little bit of info on the Tyranids. So again, pause if you want to read that. Towering Horrors, the Unending Swarm. Very cool. I love this model. It's a $100 model. The Norn Assimilator, I believe it is, or the Norn Emissary. You can choose either one of those. And very cool here, we got the page for the Captain in Terminator armor. And it gives us this goofy thing where we can roll a dice. 1 and 2 names him Lucian. Wow, what a funny coincidence. I really like the name Lucian. And the data sheet, very cool. So here in the data sheet for the Captain in Terminator armor, it shows us how far it can move, how much toughness it has, its armor save. Oh, very cool. He has a 4+ invulnerable save, so he can never be armor penetrated to a point where he doesn't get a dice roll to save. 6 wounds, leadership. Very cool. I like this a lot. It shows us the ranged weapon he has, the melee weapon, and the Winged Tyranid Prime, same thing. We can roll dice. Specimen 45, the Arkhaven Horror, and the Shifting Shadow. So if we, let's say we roll a 4 on a dice, it'd be the Arkhaven Horror. It's goofy. I think I'm just going to name him like regular dog names, like Spike. The data sheet for the Winged Tyranid Prime, very cool, can move 12 inches, probably because it can fly. It has the keyword of flyer as well. I think that's cool. Toughness 5, what is that? A saving throw of a 4 up, so not as good, but very, very cool. I'm excited to do this. Welcome to Warhammer. Core concepts. Okay, so it's teaching us that there's a difference between models and units, that a whole bunch of termagants, they're all individual models, but it is one unit. To the Terminator Captain is one unit, but one model, and it shows us how to roll a d3, and it talks about wounds with wound markers and how models are destroyed. And this is really fun. Mission number 1, First Strike. So I'm not going to read all of this, but this is exciting. It shows the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor and the Winged Tyranid Prime are already in base-to-base contact, so they're going to teach us how to do close combat rolls first. So not movement, not shooting, we're jumping straight into close combat, and it shows you deployment, it shows you how to win, and it shows forging a narrative, which I think is pretty cool. You can make it more than just dice rolls. You can add in your own role play to, like, instead of just missing the target either dodged or it parried off of a weapon. You know, make your own story. That's what makes this exciting. Very cool. Okay, so the battle, and it shows Tyranids go first. All right. And it shows to hit. Oh, so it doesn't teach us how to compare the ballistic skill and the weapon skill, and then compare the strength and toughness to figure out what we're doing. They just have it written down right now. So Tyranids have a ballistic or weapon skill of 2 up, so you only fail on a 1. Very cool. To wound against the Terminator Captain, it requires us to roll a 3 or up, so 1s and 2s would fail to wound. And then the Terminator, yeah, because there's no armor penetration, gets his save of 3 up. Very cool. The battle ends for now. So we'll do a test round of this, and then we can read to see which one of them ends up surviving. Go Tyranids! And very cool, you could actually cut out the wound markers in the very back. I won't do that. I have a special 3D printed treat that I want to show you guys. And there we go. Issue 2 has some Leapers, and issue 3 has Infernus Marines. Wow, this is going to be fun. So that was pretty cool. I mean, I'm actually pretty impressed. I took the 2 sprues out, and I put the figures together. No glue required. That's what I think is really cool about these 2 minis. They are completely peg and socket. Like, you follow the instructions, you put them together, and they're good to go. You just need to prime them and paint them. So here is the Space Marine Captain in Terminator armor, and this mold is absolutely gorgeous. This is one thing that I can say for sure, is that 3D printing will never, ever be able to catch up to Games Workshop's molds. Just looking at this figure compared to what they released just 10 years earlier, it has so much detail. It is wonderful. And I don't know if this is a special edition figure, but the base has him stepping on a Tyranid head. So I have mixed feelings about that, being a Tyranid main, but it is pretty cool to have a Warhammer 40,000 model that has a unique base. And I'm hoping it's unique for the Combat Patrol magazine. Now the Tyranid Prime, on the other hand, I don't really like the pose that it is in. It does look really cool. Its wings are down, which normally, from what I know, is the top ones are the claws, and the middle ones are going to be like the special section of the Tyranid Warrior, because this is a Tyranid Prime, so it's part of the Warrior branch, but instead of having a gun or swords, it has wings. The pose that it's in, I don't really like it because it looks a little more defensive than offensive. And when I think about the Tyranids, I think about them having no fear whatsoever. So I don't know if this is an actual defensive position on the Winged Tyranid Prime, but to me it looks like a fear-based stance of not wanting to get hit. But like I said, these were really easy to put together, and we saw in the booklet flipping through the pages that we're going to be able to do a mission with these two guys, which I think is pretty cool. But before I do that, there was an extra packet, you could say, inside the Combat Patrol issue number 1. So when it opens up, it tells you about the subscriber gifts. So these are the 5 gifts that come with ordering it through Hatchet. It gives you a little bit of a preview, and then it opens up to show you all of the figures that you can get by getting the entire Combat Patrol line, which is 7 armies, I believe. It's crazy. A little bit more ads, and then this is the really cool part that I wanted to show you guys. That is a really cool poster. And on the back, it shows you the premium subscription line, which is really cool. The premium kit number 1 has a Brutalis Dreadnought and a Hive Tyrant. If I get this one, that means I'll have 3 different edition Hive Tyrants in my collection. And this thing as well, which is a game mat. And I'm really happy. It's actually dual-sided. So the side that they show in the book, and I really like this side. It's regular terrain. Alright, so let's use this terrain and do one of the missions that's inside the Combat Patrol issue 1. Alright guys, I am super excited. I get to show off some stuff that I've 3D printed while goofing around since Christmas. It's a D20. It's set to 6 wounds. I 3D printed out these D20 holders that have a little arrow attached to it, so I can point the arrow at the unit that has the wounds, and we can turn it like that. And I made a dice tray that has a Tyranid logo in it. I'm really happy with it. It's primed, and I painted the middle. It's not done yet, so forgive me. But we're going to start with the Winged Tyranid Prime, like they say in the instructions. And we're going to roll 6 dice, and the ones fail. Alright, so we failed 2 of them. We're going to remove those ones like the instructions say. And we're going to pick up the other 4, and to wound, we need a 3 or up. So we're going to take out the 1s and 2s. So that means we wounded on 3 of them, and the captain has a saving throw of 3 up, so 1s and 2s will fail. Alright, we failed 1, so we can remove the 2 saves. And with this one fail, he takes 2 damage. So we'll go ahead and we'll change the 6 here to a 4 and put it back into our D20 dice holder. There we go. And we can point it back at the Terminator captain. There we go. He's down to 4. So next round, we're going to go with the Space Marine Terminator. He gets to roll 6 dice, and he has a weapon skill of 2 up, so he'll only fail on ones. Oh, wow. We got all of them. Good job. So now our weapon strength compared to the toughness, we need to roll a 4, 5, or 6. So we're going to take out the 1s, the 2s, and the 3s. Those are the fails. All right, so we wounded on 3 dice rolls. And the Tyranid has not so good armor. So we need to roll 3 dice for armor saves, and we only save on 6s. Ouch. And I believe that's game. That's 2, 4, 6 damage. Because it's 3... failed armor saves add 2 damage apiece. Alright, so we're going straight from 6 to 0. Ouch. That was very disappointing for the Tyranids. Super exciting for the Space Marines, right? Alright guys, so we went ahead, we did mission number 1 in Combat Patrol issue number 1. And at the very end of the booklet, it tells you which one to read based off of who won. So the first roll, it was the Terminator captain, hands down. That's the one that I included in the video. Then I thought, I'll keep playing until the Winged Tyranid Prime wins, and then I'll put both of those in one video so I'm not showing bias. But I decided, let's just run with the story arc that it's going to go based off of my first round wins. So how we played it, the Space Marines had victory, so I'll read to you what it says. With a brutal blow, the captain slices the Winged Tyranid Prime in 2. He voxes his position to his troops, checks his ammo, and prepares to fight. He has fought Tyranids before and knows this victory is only temporary. The beast he has fought is only an appendage of the wider hive mind. However, he is ready and will kill as many Tyranids as it takes to secure victory. So I think it's pretty cool. Like, you do these missions, and the story carries over from one Combat Patrol issue to the next one, which I think is actually pretty cool. I'm going to keep this thing going. It's kind of a spontaneous idea, but I think it'd be fun to have this story continue on over each episode in this series. So the Warhammer 40,000 Combat Patrol magazine, issue number 1. The Space Marine captain in Terminator armor has won and will carry over into issue number 2. So I'm pretty excited. They shipped issue number 1 and issue number 2 at the same time. But what's really weird is they sent me 3 copies of each, which was probably some kind of a computer error on their side, because I looked at my bank and it showed that there were milliseconds between the 3 charges. But one thing I want to say, so amazing. I talked to Hatchet over email and they did refund me the extra 2 charges, and they don't have a return address. So we got to keep all of those extra models. But I wanted to put that in the video just to show you guys what could happen. I got charged 3 times. I got shipped 3 items, but really awesome. They were super helpful, and they did refund me for those 2 that were extra. So we finished issue number 1, and I am really excited to keep this going with issue number 2.
Thank you so much for joining me today. Smash like to show your appreciation, and consider leaving a boom in the comments section below. Also, click on my dude here to subscribe for more Let's Plays. Ooh.